Welcome to the Good Night Gaming Council. I am your host, Chris Patters, and here with me tonight, being summoned to the council, is Daniel Vrbanac. How's it going, man?
Not too bad yourself.
Yeah, good, man. Good. So, we're here today talking about the PlayStation 5. Hasn't been announced yet, it's not released or anything, but there's a couple of rumours going around.
There's been some rumours and leaks going around, or supposed leaks.
Supposed leaks and comments and rumours, or whatever you want to call them, over the past week or so, just out of nowhere, I guess. But every few years it sort of happens, like, oh, what's the next console? There's always rumours floating around. But because we're into the fifth year now of the current gen, which is PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch joining the party, speculation does arise, because we're past generally the halfway cycle of a console generation when you're at 5 years. Usually they're about 5 to 6 years, give or take. So the speculation going. It's not E3 yet, so this is the perfect time to develop a bit of a wish list and expectations of...
Start speculating on what to expect.
What to expect from the next console, the PlayStation 5. Going on past experience of the consoles and what Sony are doing recently.
And what they've actually implemented when they've done PS1 to PS2, PS2, PS3, PS3, PS4.
Exactly. Any, like for example, a good one there would be, the PS1 had a CD player.
Yeah.
PS2 was DVD. PS3 was Blu-ray. PS4, I guess, had more sort of streaming elements to it.
Yeah.
What'll be next? I don't know what they'll have, if they're going to have something like that for the next one. Maybe like they had their universal media discs for the PSP. They'll just develop some stupid proprietary format, something or other. So, the first thing I would like to see from the PlayStation 5 is that name, PlayStation 5.
I reckon they'll keep going with that.
I hope so, because that was a bit of a thing with the PS4. It's like, oh, will they call it the PS4? It's the fourth one, But they came out and said, like, yes, this is PS4.
I can't see why they wouldn't go with PS5.
I hope they do. Hey, they didn't do a PSP 2, but the Vita was fine. That doesn't really matter, though. These are the main consoles.
It's not like bloody Xbox. You go Xbox, then Xbox
360,
and then
now
Xbox
One. It's still confusing trying to talk about the first Xbox for people, because when you say Xbox One, it's the new one. No, it's the old one, but it's the...
What's the next one going to be? Xbox 2?
Xbox 7, Xbox 10, maybe just Xbox. Just that's it. Even though that was the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They call it Xbox Classic or something. See, be like Sony. You got the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, and hopefully the fifth one.
Yeah.
I think it will be called that too, though. Yeah. I mean, you got to keep the brand loyalty and sort of the essence of what PlayStation is. Yeah. It's the fifth one. It's PS5. It's easy to say.
It's the fifth console in its
in the PlayStation cycle thing. Done. Easy. I mean, you can either do what Sony are doing, or you can go with Nintendo and just give them actual names.
Yeah.
But Microsoft seems to be somewhere in the they don't know what they don't know what they want to try and do. Having called the latest one,
not putting a lot of thought into the naming process.
No. Well, they're trying to be a bit smart.
Which they're not.
No, not really. Not with the names of the consoles, anyway. I mean, you got Xbox One X as well. It's like, well, anyway, it should have just been Xbox X maybe, or One X or whatever. Anyway, yes, so PlayStation 5 is what it should be called.
This isn't about Xbox, this is about PlayStation.
Damn right. This is a PlayStation 5 expectations and wish list. So, what do you want to see from the PlayStation 5? What are you expecting?
Backwards compatibility.
Yes, of some kind.
Whether it be... not backwards compatibility with the full back catalogue, but some of the main games. Kind of like what with Xbox are doing with the Xbox games. Having
360 games.
Having select games available for purchase in the in Microsoft Store, and then if they've got the disc, you can put the disc in, and then it just downloads the data off the store.
Or better yet, just play off the disc if you've got the disc. Yeah. Because you have to give people options to be able to keep playing these old games. You have them to download, or you can have them physically.
Because I reckon if they did that, it's not like they're not going to make money. I reckon I would spend so much money in the PlayStation Store buying old games just because of the nostalgia.
Well, yeah, it's a way for people to experience old titles that people might have talked about or played as a kid or this and that.
Younger kids growing up now, they're just like, oh, how can you fucking play that shit? It's fucking graphics are crap.
No, we will upscale the graphics and make them better for you. Yeah. If we were to have them on these newer consoles for you to enjoy it. Yeah. And they don't have to cost much either, especially if the PS1 games. Yeah. Because on the PS3 they were relatively cheap. Yeah. Just make them that same price again. I think $8 is alright for a classic PS1 title.
$7.50, $8.
Yeah, something that you'll love and enjoy and play, and you don't have to go out and have trophies or anything for them, but just have the game there to buy and download. Is that so hard?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, with the video game industry in general, and this is a kind of bad point about it, you can't just go to the shop and just buy an old game. Just the way the console is.
Go to the video shop and rent a game.
Yeah, nothing. Like, you just, after a few years, it's gone.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, we can go to JB Hi-Fi and buy old albums and buy old movies and
records,
vinyls. Like, there's a ton of options to be able to bring old games back, but yeah, apart from what Microsoft are doing, there isn't really any other legal options to be able to play older games. Which is why things like, you know, emulators and torrents exist of old games, because how else are we supposed to keep them alive, right?
And there's a lot of the times you're able to plug your PS4 controller or the Nintendo Switch Pro controller or the Xbox controller into the PC, and then like use the controller with the emulator.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's as if you're playing.
It's as if you're playing the old the console, and you can make better graphics or faster load times or whatever. And you know, apart from that, there's no other way to keep old games alive.
No,
you got to rely on either remakes or a collection, like a, I don't know, 10 in 1 or 20 in 1 kind of thing. Like, you know how like Atari do it a lot, or Namco used to do it back in the day, or just
have PS1 console and games like you have.
If you're lucky enough to, you know, come across these things and you want to spend money on them on eBay or cash converters or whatever, like there is a bit of fun in that, buying the old games and having them physically, but you can't always just rely on that. Especially with something like video games where it is a digital medium, why not make more of an effort to archive it and make it, you know. Anyway, yes, backwards compatibility for that though. At least with PS4 would be nice. I mean, that should be logical, hopefully, because with this generation, Sony and Microsoft made the consoles a bit easier to work with in terms of the internals.
Technically, with what's in the PS4 at the moment, they technically can emulate the past generations. They just choose not to. So I can't see why they can't bring it in from the get-go.
On the next gen?
Yeah.
Well, exactly. I mean, they did it for PS3. You can play PS1 games on that. Either download or fucking the disc. So yeah, PS4, they just skipped it entirely. Next one, they can definitely at least do PS1 and 2, and then have somewhat native compatibility to PS4. If you're just gonna, like they did with the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, just use the original sort of console and just beef it up a bit. If they do that again for PS5,
the ultimate dream would be just if you've got the discs, just put the disc in and you can play it.
Well,
regardless of if it's PS1, PS2, PS3, or PS4.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Put the disc in and you can play.
I don't see why not Sony, because Sony own all the architecture, like designs and stuff. For example, why not just remake them into a smaller design? Because you could probably make a PS1 the size of a phone, let's say. Yeah. So just put that little chipset in the PS5. Yeah. Why not? PS2 might be a bit bigger. Or PS3.
How small you can have like the little friggin' Raspberry Pi computers.
Yeah, and they're capable of playing, you know, with various things.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not make the PS5 like, you know, gamer edition or pro edition or something where it's got those sort of chips in it? Yeah, that would be kind of cool. Yeah, but I think I'm asking way too much for from Sony here when all they want to do is make a console and make money, which they're making a lot of with the PS4. Yeah, it's selling quite well.
I think another thing I'd like to see is them continuing on with is it PlayStation Now?
Yeah, the streaming service.
That would be similar to like what the Xbox Game Pass.
No, sort of. Yeah, kind of. I'm not sure if the Game Pass you download the games though. You probably do.
Yeah.
See, the PS Now is just a pure streaming service, which I don't know if it's got PS4 games on it. I don't think it does. I think it's just PS3 games.
I'd like to see them implement something like the Xbox Game Pass on PS4 or on PlayStation, where you have a subscription that's separate to what your PlayStation Plus subscription is. But then you're just able to...
They should just incorporate it into the PS Plus.
Yeah, so that you're able to download games that are included within the... So like with the Xbox Game Pass, you're able to download...
Yeah, whatever's in the pass at the time. Yeah. It's like the EA Origin shit too, yeah. They might do that. I'm not terribly keen on that sort of stuff though. I'd rather buy the games.
Just so them have the games free each month, whatever games they've got, and then just keep
however long they want to keep them subscribed for or whatever. Yeah, no, we need better internet for that though. That's why we don't have PlayStation Now here in Australia, because
we've got potato NBN.
It's all just shit. But streaming, it's a nice option to have as another sort of emulation kind of thing though.
Reliant on the internet,
and it's also reliant on PlayStation Network. So,
which
is in 20 years' time, who knows if it's going to be around? If it's not, well, all that's just gone to shit. Which is why physical discs is still the best way to go, because at least you have the game there. Because like patches and stuff, especially with this gen, like a lot of games change heavily with patches.
Yeah.
You're relying on the PlayStation server to still be up to patch the games.
Yeah.
If that's not around in like 20, 30 years time,
Patch your game.
how are you going to patch the game? How are you going to play like later? You know,
Yeah.
there has to be some sort of backup plan there, I guess. If Sony were to shut down though and have all the patches on a server somewhere, that would be at least acceptable. So you can still play and enjoy these games. But that's not really the nature of the industry anyway.
Yeah.
So I would like to see from the next PlayStation improved PSVR support. So that would require a new headset.
Less cables.
Well, I'll have the same amount of cables. There's only one cable though, to be honest.
Just
It's just the one cable.
Yeah.
Just needs to be a bit lighter, and I mean it already is on the refresh. It's already a smaller cable, so it'll just get improved again. The headset will probably end up being a bit lighter, maybe more comfortable, bigger field of view, 4K screen. That's it really. There's not much more to ask from it. Just a more powerful console will allow developers to make better games.
Yeah.
That's why new consoles come out, so developers can make new and better experiences.
Yeah.
And something like PSVR is definitely an advantage there in terms of Microsoft not having anything like that for developers to explore and create new stuff.
That's where Sony have the monopoly in VR.
Especially for the console space, absolutely. And, you know, you only need a $300 PS4 to play
Yeah, so it can
VR.
run off the stock PS4.
Yeah, exactly. It's designed for that. And you don't have to buy a $2,000 PC to experience VR.
Yeah.
At its sort of level where it's minimum of, okay, this is exactly what I expect from VR. So yeah, that'll just get improved again next gen, I hope. And speaking of 4K, I wonder if next gen 4K will be kind of standard in terms of the games. Because they're pushing that with these refreshes that they did this gen.
And with the 4K TVs are coming more and more cheaper. So I reckon
Cheaper and more
I reckon it's going to
mainstream.
become the standard.
It probably will, I'd say.
Yeah.
This gen 1080p was sort of like legit the standard native sort of resolution.
Remember when 1080p TVs came out? They were bloody expensive.
Yeah, $5,000
And when
sometimes.
4K TVs first came out, they were just like,
Yeah, that's always going to happen with technology. Next gen, you might see 8K coming out, rush to the market, and then the refreshed PS5 will support an 8K game or something. Like Gran Turismo will probably push that. They like to push their sort of technology and gimmicks for that. But yeah, 4K would probably be the standard than next gen, I'd say. Especially with more often than not, developers will at least attempt to sort of a patch for the Pro and the One X consoles. Yeah. And it'll have 4K or this and that.
I don't want to believe how big games are going to be then.
Over 100 gig?
I'd say at least a 2 terabyte hard drive in the console.
Nah, I'd say one.
Yeah.
It'll come with one. Because, look, maybe, I did write this down, maybe the premium version will come with 2 terabyte, like a more expensive one. Because, you do need the space. All the games are just going to get installed now off a disk or downloaded.
If games are like 150, 200 gigs, I reckon at that point, with all 4K patches and whatnot, I reckon they could easily get to about 150, 200 gig. Because you look at how big some of them are now.
Yeah, they could well do. Probably not straight away.
Yeah.
Because there's still other games, for example, that are just 20 gig, 30 gig.
Yeah.
Your patch is probably 40, 50.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be uncommon to see 100 gig games next gen. And the discs already only have 100 gigabytes on them, so there'll be a new medium for the discs. Because, there's still places in the world that don't have great internet.
No.
Downloading 150 gigabytes in a game is not easy. That's going to take a few days or whatever. So it's good just to have the discs, just install it, and then you've got the game done. Yeah. And then just download however big the patch will be.
Yeah.
But 4K, the game size, that's all going to be bigger. You'll have probably 1 terabyte as standard, maybe 2. Be nice to have 2.
The Xbox, when the Xbox One X came out, he had a limited 2 terabyte one.
Yeah, they came out with the 2 terabyte. And then it had the stand for it too. Then they had the 1 terabyte version and the cheapo 500 gig version. But Microsoft offered that just because you can't change the hard disk.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Sony did for a little bit offer a 1 terabyte PS4 against the 500, but I think they're all 1 terabyte now.
Yeah. Oh, there are some 500 gig ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the good thing about the PlayStations are you can pretty much take the hard drive out. Put in
they encourage it,
whatever you want,
which is good. Hopefully by the time PS5 comes out, it should happen next year or so. I want to put a 4 terabyte drive
inside
in the sides, because you can get 4 terabyte drives, but they're a bit big, and they don't actually fit in the console. But anyway,
so I've just got a 1 terabyte inside it, and then just a 4 terabyte external.
Yeah, you'll definitely see external drive support again.
Yeah,
because just the game sizes and whatnot. Just a quick word on RAM for the PS5. I'm expecting at least 24 gigabyte.
Yeah.
Just
at least.
looking at the previous gens and seeing how big of a jump the RAM is for each one, it's pretty massive. So I'd expect a massive jump for this one.
Yeah.
I think the PS1 had like 32 megabytes, and PS2 was like 128, and then it was 512, and now we're at 8 gig. I'd expect at least 24 gig, especially if the game's going to be 4K and whatnot.
Yeah.
16 gig just, I don't think, cuts it, especially when the One X has 12 already.
Oh, yeah, so we've got the PS2 had 4 megabytes of embedded DR RAM, so that's its video memory.
4 megabytes, eh?
Yeah.
Jeez. You can get 4 gigabyte video cards these days. Back then, 4 meg. Wonderful.
32 megabytes of memory.
Really?
RAM.
Of RAM for the PS2?
Yep. The system memory, main memory, 32 megabytes. Would that be?
Nah, that'll be just the firmware
Oh.
area and stuff. Yeah. Oh, good point. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's going back a while now. The PS2 is almost 20 years old. It's 18 years old this year. PS1 is 24 years old or something. But yeah, 24 gig RAM for the PS5 should be pretty standard. 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte drives. They'll still use discs,
Yeah.
physical discs. You'll still be able to go to the shop and buy them.
I reckon when they stop making things with discs, that's going to be a sad day. Which I don't reckon it'll happen anytime soon. But
I don't think it will either.
But when they do, it's going to be a sad day.
Yeah, we'll see what the next few generations hold for gaming. And I guess with collector's editions and stuff, though,
Yeah.
you still need a way to have physical options.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think they'll stop with a medium. I mean, Nintendo went back to cartridges somewhat for the Switch.
Yeah.
So not all hope is lost.
Yeah.
Now, with the controller, I don't think they'll make a drastically new controller.
I reckon they'll just update, but
They'll probably
give it a refresh.
Might maybe more comfortable, or
Yeah.
maybe better buttons or something, or better sticks. I don't know, something like that. But overall, in general, it'll stay the same as the PS4 with the touchpad as well. They might incorporate a screen on it on the touchpad. That'd be kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, they might have an extra port or something. Like they'll probably change it to USB-C, the connection. That's probably the biggest change I think they'll have for that.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to be able to use PS4 controllers on it though.
Yeah.
Like on the PS5, and vice versa too. You can use PS5 controls on the PS4. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like you used to be able to do in PS1 and 2.
Yeah.
You could play the PS2 controls on the PS1. I'm not sure if you could use PS1 controls on the PS2. I think you could for the PS1 games, but not for PS2.
Yes.
That sounds about right. Because every game needed the DualShock 2.
Yeah.
Well, that was the only controller that was out. You know, the PS1 had the normal one without the analog sticks, and then the DualShock, which was a response to Nintendo's controller, which had the stick on it.
Yes.
But then Sony went up to them and made basically the controller design we all know and love today.
Yeah.
Like, 2 sticks and face buttons.
And they've pretty much stuck with the design throughout all the updates and refreshes, as opposed to like Nintendo, where they've just
Every single controller
they've just gone, fuck you,
different.
we're going to do what we want.
I think the only time they were consistent was from NES to SNES, where it was just more buttons but the same sort of style.
Yeah.
And then 64 was just like, what the fuck? And then GameCube was what the fuck? and then Wii was what the fuck? No, that was just,
It's like, what the
different entirely. Good on it though. I mean, it did work really well, but always something different.
They're happy to experiment.
Sometimes it doesn't work.
And sometimes it pays off for them, but then sometimes it's just
it
like,
doesn't.
well, we do this.
Exactly. So with the Switch, they haven't really experimented terribly much with the controllers. They're very, standard.
Yeah.
But the console itself is where the experimenting is in that sort of
And I
regard.
think they're definitely winning with that.
Yeah, it seems to be going very well. I mean, Sony as well, going very well, just keeping things traditional and sort of, especially early on in this gen. I suspect they'll do the same next gen too.
Do you reckon they'll delve into handheld again? Or do you reckon with the Vita they're pretty much done with it?
I think Sony's done with handheld, unfortunately. I can't see them coming back with a Vita successor. Like, unless they have something awesome just
Planned.
that you just can't, refuse. Like, maybe a tablet, maybe a gaming tablet, but not like the Switch. It's a proper permanent portable thing. But I don't expect them to. Maybe if the Vita was more successful.
Yeah.
Which sucks because the Vita's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, that...
We could do another episode on that, because I've got
the missed opportunities of the Vita.
Yeah.
I agree.
I reckon Nintendo have the monopoly over handhelds. easy.
Oh, they do now, that's for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
the PSP gave it a good run. Thing is, though, like the DS sold a lot last gen, but so did the PSP. This gen, the 3DS hasn't sold as much, but it's still way more than the Vita.
Yeah.
Like the Vita's just not even
Yeah.
worth talking about,
Yeah.
unfortunately, in that sort of regard. It's good for playing like PS4 games in the remote play or whatever.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat.
That's what Hammer said. He says he wants to get one so he can play. He says Monster Hunter while taking a crap.
Yes, hello Hammer, if you're listening to this podcast, and to everyone out there, Hammer is
Shout out to Hammer.
shout out to Hammer, yes. Good stuff. So I think I've gone through all my list of notes, but yeah, back to the traditionalness of it though. It should just be a gaming console.
Yeah.
Kind of like what the PS4 was, just make games first, and everything else will come.
So there's heaps of leaks and rumours about it coming out 2020, and I reckon.
Yes, we'll talk about release date.
I reckon 2020, maybe 2021.
I think 2020 at the earliest, I'd say.
Yeah.
So this year's E3 will tell us a lot.
Yeah.
If Sony don't have many first-party titles planned, they're probably going to brew up something next year in terms of an announcement. But if there's still going to be a heap of games coming out, there's no reason for them to stop selling the PS4 and developers making game stuff. Because it does take a lot longer to develop games, like these days, especially for first-party titles and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe this gen will be a bit longer just to cater for those sort of releases. But yeah, 2020 earliest.
I reckon 2021, maybe.
2021 seems about right.
Yeah.
It would have been 8 years since the consoles first came out, because I don't consider the Pro and the X like new consoles. They're not. They're just a refresh of the base consoles. So we're still in the one generation.
But still, with Sony, you never know. They could tease something this year, but I doubt it. But you never know.
Yeah, I don't know what the rationale behind it would be though.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still selling really well, and
the PS4 Pro just came out last year as well, so I don't see them doing it.
2 years.
2 years.
Last year was the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're still, like, when you take those into regard, they're going to carry us through the next few years, those consoles. So there's no reason to make another one.
Yeah.
Like, that's only going to be half as powerful. It's going to be that same jump if you were to release them in a couple of years as what the Pro was. You want to wait and make something just way better. So 2021 is probably a good, into the next decade.
Yeah.
Bring us into that. But what they generally do is they'll tease it at E3, and then in a couple of years it'll be out. Yeah. Because you got to give developers time to make games and this and that. So there's still a few games that haven't come out yet, like Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
I mean, what, they're going to delay that and just release for the next console? I don't think so. So this E3 will let us know. If there's basically like just no hints, nothing at all, maybe next year they'll tease it.
I reckon Nintendo might. I'm not going to say they win E3, but I reckon they've got so many games that they'll more so tease or highlight this year.
Yeah, they'll have some stuff. Microsoft will,
do they
maybe have some stuff. They'll have Halo.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing too. Like Microsoft and Sony, because they came out the same year for this gen, for the consoles, they'll probably do the same for next gen too. Yeah. So since Halo 6 isn't out yet, it's probably going to be a few more years.
It hasn't even been
teased nothing. So if that gets teased this year,
I reckon might be a launch game for the next console, whenever that may be.
It's a few years out. I mean, they've got the One X. They want to showcase that, So they'll be releasing stuff on that first. Yeah. Otherwise, they're just going to skip it entirely, basically. Yeah. And there's no point. So they'll tease Halo 6 this year. It'll probably come out next year, and then there'll be another at least 2 years before the console comes out. So I mean, we could be 4 years away for next gen, which I think's fine. Yeah. I mean, like I said, the Pro and the X are here to sort of carry us to then with giving us updated graphics and stuff. So it doesn't make it feel like the games are that bad, even though they all have to still run on the old consoles, which still look fine anyway. Because this day and age graphics are, they're not shit.
Xbox has Halo as their pretty much like draw card title. What big ones do like Sony have?
Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo, yeah.
That's still its best-selling franchise. Yeah. There's Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter. Yeah. Do you reckon Uncharted as well?
Do you reckon with the success of the Crash remaster, they'll do another game?
No? Well, you got to think. Activision own Crash and Spyro, which are coming out with the things. It's not like Sony are going to lead the charge with them. Yeah. So, Like, it's not like they're going to come out with Tomb Raider or something.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider remastered. Or
Yeah.
if Sony actually owned the properties and the characters and franchise and stuff, sure. But it takes a bit of development, a bit of back and forth with developers and stuff. I'd love to see lots of games remastered and redone, of course. I think everyone would. Because no matter how shit or unimportant the game is, you're still fans for it. And, you know, you want to give them
Seen you
that
get into
experience.
arguments with people on the GameSpot page on Facebook about the difference between a remaster and a remake.
Well, that's the game
there's
company's faults these days, because they think a remake is a remaster, when it's not. But it's just that people see the word remaster and, you know, they have different expectations, this and that.
Yeah.
All a remaster is just making an old game work on a new console.
Yeah.
If you actually touch it up, it's a bit more than a remaster.
Remaking the game is
More or
effectively-
less. There is like a halfway point.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of what happens these days, like that Crash game, for example, was a remake. That wasn't a remaster.
So that Spyro trilogy, that's a remake.
That's a proper remake as
They're
well.
reusing some of the old assets and stuff and textures and whatnot. But
They're
they're
using them as a base.
Yeah, but they're
build it up.
completely remaking the game.
Yeah, exactly. Like it all has to be redone. Like all the animations redone, all the textures, everything. So it's a remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, a remaster would just be the old games with a 4K like overlay or something and just make them look pretty, which would be bloody awesome, by the way. But yeah. Anyway, anything else you want to expect from the PS5?
No.
Just make it a fucking games console. That's all I want.
Here's my money, take it.
Pretty much, man. I don't think it'll cost too much either. Hopefully, what they did with this gen, they'll just apply for next gen. You know, consoles will be like $500-$600.
Not like what the PS3 was, or $1,000 on launch.
That was insane. But that was partly because of the Blu-ray, but partly because Sony just they had a card reader in the bloody console too, like 4 USB ports, this and that. There was also a bloody PS2 in it though too.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of brought up the price. But I'd happily pay $1,000 if the PS5 had PS1, 2 chipsets in there, and
Would you trade in one of your old PS4s for it? Or?
Absolutely not.
No.
I never trade in stuff. Everything has a place in my collection. The last game I traded in, I bought back like 5-6 years later because it nagged me.
Yeah.
Haze, that piece of shit fucking PS3 game, which was supposed to rock everyone's world, but
Piece of shit.
it was not the best. Yeah, but I still rebought it and haven't played it yet, but I'm sure I will. No, before then, the last game I traded in, I regretted. It was an obscure Formula 1 game that a local Melbourne developer made for the PS2. I wish I never traded that, because God, that would be great to play and just have in the collections. Like, this game was made here, and it's F1 as well, this and that. But yeah, final thoughts on this. Yeah, look, I think we've explained it all. I think we've gone through it all. I mean, it's just speculation at the end of the day too.
Yeah.
Just wishing what we want from it.
And then when details get released, we're going to do a comparison video on
we can see what our expectations are like, and if they're delivering on some promises or if they're deviating from some things, or I guess we'll see if they announce it.
See, that's one thing that, so like with Nintendo promised on launch with the Nintendo Switch that they were going to be able to emulate GameCube games on launch. And have they done that?
Nothing's. There isn't even a virtual console thing out yet.
No.
Not even a trickle of the old stuff. So we'll see if that happens with the next consoles as well.
So if they promise certain things,
and
whether they deliver.
I'd be very disappointed if one of those things will say like, backwards compatibility, and it's like, oh no, we've got development issues or some garbage.
Piss off.
No, fuck off. You must make your consoles backwards compatible, and just good games as well.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we'll wrap things up there. Thank you for being summoned to the Midnight Gaming Council today, and to talk about our PlayStation 5 wish list and expectations. This isn't really a topic that I sort of generally think about and want to do for the Midnight Gaming Council, but I think it's appropriate considering that the rumours are out recently, and it's always cool to sort of sit around and think, oh, what's the next console going to be like, and what's it going to be called, and what's it going to look like, and things like that. It's kind of like schoolyard talk, I guess.
And then pretty much with EB Games, as soon as something gets teased,
they'll
put it up for pre-order for like maximum retail.
Yeah, like the $999 like full-on thing. Yeah, they'll definitely do that. You know something's official and coming out once EB Games get on their pre-order buzz.
See, they had the Nintendo NX as soon as it was they did that.
Yeah, you don't even have to wait for an official name. Just use the code name. What if they put like next PlayStation on it?
It's like, we know nothing about this, but give us your money.
Give us your money anyway. And if they do release something sweet, that's funny, man. Yeah, we'll actually keep an eye out on that and see if EB pull their tricks with pre-orders and stuff. Maybe we'll walk in one day and be like, oh, can we put a deposit down for the PS5? But nah, mate. But we'll take your money anyway. You can pre-order something else or some shit. Alright, well yes, so thank you for coming on, Vivek.
That's right.
And we'll see what we have to talk about in the next session on the Midnight Gaming Council.
Sweet.
Catch
And
you
it's
later.
actually midnight.
It is, yes, we are actually
1
on
a.m.
midnight, reaching towards 1 a.m.
Yeah.
here. So this is the proper
Midnight gaming council.
full sesh, proper sesh here, and where we talk about games and nothing else. Alright, catch you guys later.
See ya.